To our catechists, you have a tremendous responsibility. It should make you shake. Jesus Christ is entrusting to you his message. To evangelize is to present the good news. It's to tell someone who doesn't know the good news. What is the good news? What is the gospel? That's what gospel means, good news. It means Jesus Christ paid a debt he didn't owe because we owed a debt we couldn't pay. That's basically the gospel. We are fallen creatures. We cannot fix ourselves. We cannot forgive ourselves. We cannot save ourselves. We owed a debt we couldn't pay. But God so loved the world that he sent his only Son to die on a cross and pay that debt. That's to evangelize. That's the good news. You can be healed. You can be saved. To catechize, that's what you are. A catechist, once a person has accepted that and said, yes, I accept that, and I want to know God, then the catechist says, let me teach you. Let me lead you. This is why your job is so important. You are leading people in this journey back towards God. Once they are baptized, once they accept Christ, then they need to be taught. They need to be led, just like children need to be led. Basically, what you want to teach the children, what you want to teach people, is God's original plan, how we messed it up, and then how Jesus, through his church, fixes it. The original plan is this. God breathed into us his divine spirit. He gave us three things. First, relationship with himself. Think about when you fell in love for the first time. Maybe you were 14, 15, 16 years old. You could not stop thinking about that boy or that girl. You couldn't stop thinking about that person. They came into your mind, into your thoughts throughout the day automatically. That's what we had with the Lord. When we woke up in the morning, we thought about God. As we went through our day, we thought about God. Everything that we did was connected to him. Prayer for us was natural. Worship was a joy. Perfect relationship. The second thing that he gave us was all of his perfections. When you have the Holy Spirit, he breathed into us his Spirit. The Holy Spirit contains all of the perfections of God. That means his patience is my patience. His humility is my humility. His purity is my purity. His obedience is my obedience. And I am sharing all of those perfections with you. You are sharing them with me. That means that all of our human relationships are perfect. This is why Jesus says there was no plan for divorce, because all of your marriages were perfect. Perfect relationship with God, human relationships perfect. And then the last thing that God gave us was the ability to connect, to do everything here on earth with him. And so all of our music was glorifying to him, and it elevated the human soul. Science, art, education, family. I'm just thinking about everything that we have here on earth. It was all connected to him. When sin came into the world, it broke all of that apart. Now, you and I are no longer in relationship with God. When we wake up in the morning, we don't think about God. I think about myself, me, and what I have going on today. God does not impact me. As I'm going through my day, God doesn't come into my mind. I'm living for a false trinity called me, myself, and I. Lastly, the second thing, the perfections of God that we had received, we no longer have. And so now, instead of sharing the patience of God with you, I'm sharing my impatience. Rather than the humility of God, I'm sharing with you my pride. And so all of our human relationships struggle and they stumble. This is why divorce is now in the world. Lastly, We no longer do things here on earth for God. We no longer connect them with the Lord. So our music, it used to be connected to God, no longer. Now we have music that glorifies God, and now we have profane music. Now everything is mixed up. Do you understand why Jesus came into the world? Not just to die on a cross and then leave us the way we were. He came to restore his Father's plan. Our Father doesn't have plan B. He only has plan A. It is perfect relationship with himself, perfect relationships between human beings, and the ability to connect everything on earth with him. Jesus came to reestablish that. How does he do it? Through the church. The church is not an end in itself. We don't stop with the church. The church is simply an instrument that Christ uses in order to bring us back to himself. Just like a fisherman. What the fisherman wants is the pearl, but the pearl is inside the shell. Without the shell, you don't have the pearl. And so the fisherman says, I don't want the shell, I want the pearl. But I want the shell because I have to have, without the shell, there's no pearl. That's the way Christ functions through his church. He wants to pour all of his love and his perfections, relationship with him, healing for you and I, into his church. And through his church, he wants to touch us and bring us back to him. As a catechist, this is the great message that you have to bring to people. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, he wrote this, and this is what I encourage you to give to the children you teach, the adults that you teach. Pope Francis said, I invite all Christians everywhere at this very moment to a renewed personal encounter with Jesus Christ. I ask all of you to do this unfailingly each day. No one should think that this invitation is not meant for him or her, since no one is excluded from the joy brought by the Lord. The Lord does not disappoint those who take this risk. Whenever we take a step towards Jesus, we come to realize that he is already there, waiting for us with open arms. Now it is time to say to Jesus, Lord, I have let myself be deceived. In 1,000 ways I have shunned your love, yet here I am once more to renew my covenant with you. I need you. Save me once again, Lord. Take me once more into your redeeming embrace. Beautiful words. Words that I encourage you to share with all of those whom you catechize. I will keep you in my prayers, and God bless.